Hi guys, so while we know that shortages are causing problems now, what does the future hold? As many have already said, things are going to get worse. Many people have been on holiday over the last number of weeks, and with schools and businesses getting back to normal pretty soon, there's going to be extra pressure on an already strained industry. Now, Coral Rose, who represents the Federation of Wholesale Distributors, spoke to the BBC about just how more difficult it's going to get.
Why do you think the government won't give temporary visas to European lorry drivers to help plug this shortage, like they have done with other sectors?
I have no idea. We have been talking about this as an issue for a long time and for many months. And whilst we are coping now, September is going to be much worse. We have the schools coming back, we have workplaces returning, we have the tourist season still in full swing, and then it just builds all the way up to Christmas. So if the government cannot release this temporary EU visa scheme to get some lorry drivers over here pretty quickly, then we're going to be in trouble.
What do you mean by in trouble? What does that look like?
It means that we are going to suffer delivery shortages. You're seeing it in the headlines at the moment. I mean, what we're doing is our members from a country range group perspective are having to purchase smaller vehicles to make sure that they can make deliveries to their customers, because you don't need a specific HGV license. We're also asking customers to take larger, more infrequent deliveries to make sure we can ease up the supply chain. But across the industry, not everybody's able to do that, and some of them do need the HGV drivers.
So, what is the solution from Boris Johnson's government? Well, it seems to be the same as when there was the new Brexit red tape. Let businesses deal with it on their own. We saw what happened to companies at the beginning of this year. The Brexiteer government washed their hands of the problem and told GB-based businesses to set up in the EU to avoid the consequences of being a third country. The solution today seems in line with that thinking. Tell businesses to hire British people instead. So, hiring British people may or may not resolve the problem in the long term, but it does nothing to fix the issues of supermarket empty shelves, farmers growing fruit and vegetables that are rotting in the fields, or processors cutting back, for example. It does nothing to solve these problems, all stemming from the result of ending freedom of movement post-Brexit and the shortages that have followed. Now, there have been rumours coming from the pro-Tory The Times newspaper that the government may be doing a U-turn on this and issuing a limited number of visas, but this may be too little too late. A problem with issuing visas is that they will be temporary and not exactly encouraging to people who may want to move to Britain to start a life, perhaps seeing themselves driving a lorry as a start. A temporary visa would cut them off when the visa itself expires. The government are, of course, not serious about dealing with this crisis. They want UK companies to carry the can here, because it's easier. Of course, this is the Brexiteer way of dealing with a problem. First, you refuse to acknowledge that there is a problem. Then you ignore the problem when it arrives. Then you blame someone else for the problem. And eventually, if you're pushed hard enough, you provide a solution which is completely useless. As we saw before when it came to Brexit red tape at the beginning of the year, we're now seeing the same approach when it comes to the heavy goods vehicle driver shortage. Let companies deal with it, let them hire British people instead, which is, as we've seen, not the solution to the problem. The possible solution to the problem would be emulating something like freedom of movement, allowing more people into the country to work in industries that are crying out for staff. But unfortunately, that doesn't seem to be something that's going to happen as long as Priti Patel is in charge and there is a racist voter base that needs to be satisfied. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot. I want to say a big thank you to all of my patrons. You ensure that this channel continues to exist. I'm eternally grateful for all of your support. If you join Patreon, you will receive instant access to our Discord server, where we have both audio and video chats. You can chat with me and other patrons, where we discuss important and non-important issues. Becoming a patron per month costs about the same as a large coffee, so why not check it out?